Hello and welcome to another episode of Commander Durdle. So we're up to Morningtide. That's where our 12 booster pack pool comes from, our 180 cards. As you saw in the previous set musings episode for Morningtide, yep, there's a Maralen in here, so I'm going to go with this. Just before I do that, a couple of things. So I did explain in the set musings episode that one possible way to go with this is an ad nauseam deck. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I wouldn't suggest building a Maralen of the Mornsong deck. You'll probably find it gets old very fast no matter what you do with it. I'm going to try and do something interesting with like life-based, life exchange, and see where it takes me. That's the idea. That's what I'm on the lookout for when the algorithm suggests cards. I want to try and avoid any ad nauseum combo pieces from turning up in the deck, so it doesn't go down that rabbit hole, if indeed the algorithm even takes me down there. Like I say, I've got no clue where I'm going to go with this, but I know where I don't want to go. And also I'm on the lookout for any relentless rat shenanigans as well. So to help me, and just to give you an idea of what the hell I'm even talking about, I did go into EDH Rec, and using their average deck feature, I pulled up a couple of decks from there that I thought might be worth having a quick look at, so we know what we're trying to avoid when we do this deck. So for the ad nauseum bit, firstly I'll just say I am not an expert in the ad nauseum combo decks that have been around for a long time. It's considered, I think, to be what they call a bit of a glass cannon in EDH. I mean, it's a pretty, offensive is the right word or not, but it's just an annoying deck if you do build a ad nauseum deck. It's probably neat the first time you try it, but it's not a deck you want to play a lot. So I think, and it's too vulnerable to certain things. So the basic idea is that, as you can see with Maralen of the Mornsong, it's a sort of party for all tutor. So the downside is players can't draw cards, but at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life. Okay, still a downside, but they search their library for a card, put it into his or her hand, then shuffle their library. So they're effectively tutoring every turn at the cost of 3 life. Everybody is. So the idea is, you don't know how many people might be playing combo decks, so the idea is to get your combo out faster than everybody else's. So with an ad nauseum deck, obviously you're trying to tutor for ad nauseum, and the point with ad nauseum is you want to keep drawing cards, and then you're going to leverage. Well, this is the thing: you're not doing card draw, because otherwise this would nerf it. It's drawing cards, but what you're doing is you're moving cards from the library into your hand. So nowhere on here does it say draw a card from your library. It says reveal the top card of your library and then put that into your hand. So you're putting it into your hand. You're not actually technically drawing it. So that's why this doesn't just nerf ad nauseum. So you're using this to tutor for ad nauseum. But before this goes off, because obviously all the time you do this, you're losing life. The idea is to firstly have a ton of swaps in here. The second thing is to any utility cards that you might want to put in to either, or certainly negate any or lessen any like damage that might be going on here. Darkspear to prevent half of the damage done. Now, what you're trying to do with Darkspear is you're not trying to stop this because it's life loss. What you are trying to do is prevent some of the damage from the actual other part of the combo. So again, it's really important you're aware of that. This is specifically for anything you're going to leverage. So you want to get in a position with this deck where you are discarding cards from your hand. and when you discard cards from your hand, Sickening Dreams, if this will do X damage to each creature and each player. So you're using Ad Nauseam to basically populate your hand with sufficient enough cards so that when you cast your Sickening Dreams, you can discard those cards and do X damage to everybody. And the reason why you have this in play is obviously that's doing X damage to yourself. So you want to make sure that you're doing less damage to yourself than you are everybody else. So it's really important that you keep aware of what your life total is and how much you're going to be left with when you factor in all these interactions. The other thing is, obviously there's cards you can put in, and you're aiming for cards with low mana costs so that they're not as a disadvantage to you through Ad Nauseam, because you're losing life equal to the converted mana cost. So all your support cards, things like Dark Sphere, that's cool, that's 0. Elixir of Immortality is 1. And this is a great way of, basically gaining some life back. Jeweled Lotus, you're looking for like mana speed bumps that you can leverage to cast your combo pieces without them doing too much damage through the Ad Nauseam. You've got things like Lotus Petal, obviously, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, well, why not? And then Spellbook, because you also want to make sure that you can populate your hand and you're not in a position where you have to discard. So, again, a lot of these cards are just, basically they're in one copy because you don't really need multiple copies. Once you've got everything you need in place to make this go off, then you're good to go. And that's the downside as well, is if you get scuppered for any reason, then that's it. You're going to be in trouble because the deck can't really win through anything else. There's some stuff you can do, again, where there's certain cards which, because of the way CMC works, you can put in the deck and they won't cause an adverse effect. The other thing is you can have cards like this where you can actually take control of your opponent's searches. So you control the opponents while they're searching their libraries, which they're going to be do because of Maralen. While an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as long as it were mana of any colour to cast them. The other thing, and again, this is just going by the aggregate deck that EDH Rec produced, there's obviously some zero cost creatures that you could conceivably put in the deck just for blocking stuff or whatever, that aren't going to react adversely with Ad Nauseam and the thing here. Then you've got things like other things which will, that could be, if you want to use Culling the Weak, you're going to need a sack outlet to do that. So again, because you're drawing cards and you're filling your hand with Ad Nauseam, when everything goes off, you're going to have all these different combo pieces that you can put together. We've got a Dark Ritual. What do we got here? We've got a Besiege, which must have been in someone's deck. Pay 2 life, add 1 management. That can't be, yeah. So it makes obviously Ad Nauseam uncounterable. Glacial Chasm, another way of preventing the damage through the Sickening Dreams. Peat Bog, not the greatest land in the world, but again, a way of getting a speed bump in terms of black mana. We've got Reliquary Tower, which obviously same reason we've got Spellbook in here. Just so you don't get problems of having to discard if something doesn't quite go according to plan. And then we've got a ton of swamps because obviously it's not going to cause any problems with ad nauseum. So yeah, so anyway, that's the gist. And again, you know, there's certain other cards that may be better in here, swap out, but this is just really a basic template produced from the aggregate deck. The other way, the route you could go down is a Relentless Rats route, again exploiting the tutoring ability on here. The only problem is, of course, you're going to be more vulnerable to your opponents as they get their stuff together. So I don't know how effective this deck might be. Again, it was created from the average deck that EDH Rec can produce when I chose Relentless Rats off the drop down for this particular commander. I had to tweak it slightly because it didn't have the right number of cards in there. I don't think there was sufficient decks for the algorithm to work, and so I ended up sort of, I think, dropping the land and upping the Relentless Rats or something like that. And then it suggested a number of other cards that have interesting interactions in black. And again, probably some of these could be removed in order to add more Relentless Rats in here. There's a number of rats that just like you playing other rats, and various other cards that like you playing swamps, or like you having devotion as well, and other cards that are going to help you tutor. Things like Thrumming Stone, which normally makes no sense in an EDH deck, suddenly becomes wonderful in any deck where you can play any number of a particular card because of the ripple effect on here. Then we've got things like Jeweled Lotus as a speed bump, and then ways of reducing the casting cost of your black spells. Another opposition agent, Noxious Gearhole, you know, those sort of cards that you find in a mono black deck that work well in this particular scenario. This is an interesting thing as well. There's a number of cards in here that get multiple cards with the same name back from the graveyard, and again, cards, because of the nature of Relentless Rats, make sense in this particular deck, but normally in EDH make no sense at all. So yeah, I just thought you'd like a quick look at that. Again, I'm trying to make a mental note here, and I've got it here, just the sort of cards that I may want to avoid. Some, you know, great, because if we're playing mono black, then, you know, why wouldn't you play a Grey Merchant of Asphodel? But just other things, you know, certainly if I see a Thrumming Stone for the build I'm going, then yeah, no, I don't really want that. So let's just prune this back. We're just going to end up with a load of black cards, and I don't think we're going to end up with much stuff to start with. I'm just going to make sure there's enough in here to trigger their algorithm. If you drop below a certain amount of cards, the algorithm just doesn't work. So let's just take all of this out. I don't know if I'm going to have much to say about these cards as I remove them. You know, again, we're dealing with a card pool here of a small set, so you're going to see a ton of multiple copies. Actually, let me do this the other way around. Because, you know, it's a small set. And of course, we can only run one copies of things, and, you know, we're running mono black here, so we're going to wave goodbye to all of our nice, handy elementals and things like that. Obviously, there's multiple tribal decks in here, in this card pool, that we could build if, instead of, as we do in the series, you know, chose a legends, we just add in our own legend from somewhere. So we could have gone down that route, like picked a tribal rare that maybe was in here, and then just substituted in, just brought in a legend from another set. There's only 3 legends in this particular set, and they're all monocolour. Black one, a green one, and a blue one. We've got no black enchantments. I'm not even sure about these artifacts. I mean, there's no advantage here. I mean, it basically turns a creature into a pinger. I'll leave it in for the moment, but I might take it out before the end. I don't even know. I don't envisage myself getting particularly Voltron-y with Maralen, because I'm going to see if it does come up with life shenanigans, as I might expect it to, but we'll see. There's a few different options we can go down with this deck. You know, if I start to see like some card discard type stuff in black, then I could do that. I could go down a sacrifice route, but I don't know. Okay. Well, that's got rid of most of our creatures. Let me... I mean, they're just as a side note, you know, there's a load of really good tribal cards in here for EDH. You know, if you're, say, building around wizards or, you know, shamans or anything like that. So I thought they're worth a look at. I'm not necessarily saying that they'd definitely be any good in a singleton format, but you know, it is definitely worth a look at this particular block as a whole if you're doing anything tribal, in case, you know, you might find something cool. Okay, discard. You won't hurt, I suppose. Again, I might take these out at the end if there's stronger stuff. If it starts going down the discard route, then that might be a good thing. Leave it in for the moment. It's probably going to come out. We'll leave in that. That's our only set destruction spell we've got in here. It was, I think, the only black destroy. Yeah. Spell in the set. Okay, that can't play because it's got green in it. This is interesting. We can leverage our swamps as creatures, so I'm going to leave it in. Okay, we could do some stuff with counters, but we'll see where that takes us. Good old death touched creature, I suppose, doesn't help. Doesn't hinder us. Key moves. No, I'm not going to go like, you know, fairy tribal or wizard. I mean, I could go wizard. I could go wizard tribal. Hang on, let me just look at that. I don't think would be mono black wizard even a thing? Are there enough cards? No. Awful snout. I suppose that's good of getting rid of something of our opponents that's accidentally ended up in a graveyard. I suppose additional +1/+1 counter. It's an elemental, isn't it? I'm just checking there's no weird interaction there that we could leverage. I don't think so. I suppose it depends. If I see lots of... Well, we'll see whether we get lots of +1/+1 things. I don't think so. Again, I can take it out. Can you look at the top? No. Thank you. Yeah, keep target creature other than weed pruner gets -1/-1. I suppose it's a good way of removing small utility creatures. Okay, so that's our starting point. I'm probably not going to end up what? Oh well. We'll just keep going. So First things first, let's get some land in. So we will just use the swamps from the large set. So let's see what Lorwyn can give us. Oh yeah, this artwork, cool. Decisions. Yeah. What should we do? 34, 35 maybe? Okay. Suppose I better keep my eye open out for combos as well. I need to protect the command as well because stuff is going to get blown up. So I don't know if this works. Yeah, it's suggesting that because of the yeah. I'm glad I did that because you have to read this really careful. Player loses 3 life. Yeah. So it's life loss, not damage. So that's there because of the presence of probably a number of ad nauseum decks pushing it in that direction. I think, yeah, this definitely. Yeah, just in case, really. I need to protect my commander, and I should play these. Now, I'm playing mono black, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, now I think this is actually going where I want it to go. I'm hoping. Stuff is ending up in an opponent's graveyard. Oh. Yeah, I need to definitely protect my commander. And anything that helps me gain life. Mirage Mirror becomes a copy of a target artifact creature. Okay. So if we do, I'm just going to have to see if I can get it to exchange life. I do need to play that and that. That. Where are we now? 16 artifacts. Oh dear, so much good stuff here. Yeah, this is a time to get rid of those. Bye-bye. Okay, I think I'll stick it around that for the moment. Put my Burnished Hart over here, which is fine. Yeah, I can see myself getting rid of a lot of this stuff. Okay. Chosen type you control. Yeah. I'm just going to take this out. There's not going to be much we're going to keep here, I don't think. I shouldn't have kept that one anyway. Much more room now. Okay. Let's look at some of the support cards. I'll have a quick look at the Planeswalkers, see what it suggests. Okay. Yeah, if I want to get it drawn in this direction, then I should play that. I've put a demon creature. X life and draw X cards. So how quickly would I go ultimate? Stick that in. It might turn out this deck's just it's going to be really dreadful, but anyway, it's a journey. Okay, oh, there's ad nauseum. Okay, instant speed removal, that's what we're really looking for here, plus we might want to get some. Do we want any speed bump stuff? I don't know. Yeah, let's just go with instant speed, targeted removal. If a creature died this turn, you may copy Definitely would like a tendrils in here. Interesting fog effect in black. And that's from the previous set. Okay. Some interesting choices coming up. Opponent's turn. Creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield. Not sure. Okay. Just stop there for the moment. Right. No. Yes, please. You know, unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent, discards a card. Mutilate. Interesting mass removal. That's what I was sort of looking for with those other cards that I removed. But this is much better. Okay, next life. Yep. So all the cards in hand, then draw so many cards -1. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, I didn't think of that. So they can't draw cards, so it's just mass discard. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, well. That's the one I wanted to include. Control, yeah. Corrupt is another one. Of course, once you've destroyed the Crusader, once you've destroyed your own commander, then what? So you can start drawing again. Interesting. That works. Because you're putting the cards in the hand, you're not drawing. Way of dealing with planeswalkers, token decks. Yeah, I don't really want to deplete my life. Okay. I do like Drain Life. Nice and old school. Right. Moving on to enchantments. Oh, what have we got? Okay, whenever an opponent loses, okay, that, yeah, so this is cool. Oh, is this a Necropotence deck? Probably not. Guardians. No. Sanguine Barn, yeah. Yep. Lost 2 more life this turn. You may put 3 life. Beginning of each opponent, that player has 1 or it's in hand. Each opponent is life equal to the life they lost this turn. Yeah, we're just gonna double up everything. Just get rid of their stuff. What else have we got? Yep. Oh, this is a nasty deck. Don't play this deck. Just don't. It's just, it's just fun building it, but I don't know whether you would want to play this. Beginning of each player's up here. I'm trying to avoid the discard here. Just gain life that. Yeah, so we're just trying to make this as unpleasant as possible. I'm assuming, yeah, Erebos has gone in the creature slot. It's a creature enchantment. Oh, this fella. And yeah, I'll make it even. No. Whenever an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life. Whenever a creature successfully deals damage to you, destroy it. Yeah. And let's have a look at some land before we start looking at creatures. Because we've got no utility in here at all. No utility land. Obviously there might be, I wonder if we could run that one, the Black Karoo land. Okay, so yes to Cabal Stronghold and yes to Reliquary Tower, just in case. I mean, it doesn't hurt to. The reason why this is here is because of the Ad Nauseam deck, I'm assuming. Same with this, because this is damage, not life loss. Red Flash. Okay, that makes sense in a mono black deck. I mean, it's normal to run cyclers in mono-coloured decks. Yeah, this is what I was looking for, Everglades. So, I just remember, did I put in that World Wake? Yeah, just run some Graveyard Hate. Okay. Right, so we're on to the creatures now. Let's see. Right, whenever an opponent searches your library, that player, yeah, extort. We cast a spell. Yep. Gary, yes please. Anything that just... So this looks like this is turning, not surprisingly, into an extort deck. Japan's own supply chooses up to 2. Okay. Yeah, because we're just going to lock our opponents down. Opponents can't gain life. So yeah, this is just all in life exchange and depletion of our opponents. And just generating massive amounts of black mana. Because of this, I can probably cut down on the amount of lands I'm running as well. But I think probably pays to be on the safe side. Converted, yeah, anything like this. Anything devotion wise as well. Or do I? Yeah, I don't know if I want to risk it. Keep return a target. Yeah, I'm just making it very unpleasant for our opponents. Okay, so look at the cast that card for as long as you guys. So also nicking stuffs. Yeah. Yeah. So Dread Presence, but just always do the second one. And, well, unless we got a ton of life. I mean, there's no harm in leveraging life. I'm just trying to not lose it because we're losing life through the commander. So whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. creature you control get. That was in the Relentless Rats deck, actually. I'm just wondering if I'm playing black anyway, whether it's just a fun thing to have. I'll leave that for the moment. It's more at home in a discard deck. I just want to put Phage in here. Phage deals so into the battlefield. If you didn't cast it from your hand, well, that's fine. I'm going to be casting it from my hand. Deals contact damage to the creature. Destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. Since I'm playing mono black, why not? It's just we got up to Runescarred Demon. 23 creatures. Where are we? Oh, that was a good guess. Okay. Like I said, this could probably go down because of all the mana stuff. In which case we could add more creatures, but I've not had a lot of luck with opening hands recently. We do have some very high casting cost creatures, so I would probably be tempted to leave it at 35 for the moment and then just dial back accordingly. Right, again with this, with the more I do these episodes, more I see I get less advantage in doing like a full gold fishing exercise. So again, I'm just going to pull opening hands and sort of comment on the playability of certain hands as we go through, because this deck doesn't always make a lot of sense unless you're going up against someone, and because with gold fishing the it's just so many things going on here that don't transfer well to just gold fishing necessarily. Yeah, you just couldn't see the effect of any of this stuff. So, but what I want to do is just see how quick stuff gets out. What we will do is export this deck. It seems to be saving okay now. That must have just been a glitch. So let's play test it. So this can't go. This goes down turn 3. So for Damnation, a single swamp, cast down. An Aether Snap. So yeah, I don't know if we'd really want to keep a one lander. Okay, let's just see what we draw into. Okay, so swamp. So we do have a way of destroying stuff. It looks like our commander would get out before anything else. So no commander out. Well, let's just get these out. So no commander out on turn 3. The beginning of each end step, opponent loses life equal. Gonti, Mages of the Coffers, Damnation, Aether Snap. Oh, there's our swamp. So Maralen is now out doing her stuff. So now we can't draw cards, but at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life and searches the library for a card. So now we can start searching through and pulling out all manner of cards, basically. So yeah, once this goes down, then really it's just a question of trying to predict what are going to be the most appropriate cards to search for. Solemn, Obnixilis, Mask of Avacyn. And obviously what you would want to see is equipment that's going to protect your commander. So we go to turn 2 Mask of Avacyn. We've already drawn our 3rd swamp here, so this is great. You need 3 to equip this. That's the only thing. Got our hero's downfall. So yeah, get Maralen out. And again, 2-handed, we've got a Burnished Hart. There's an alternative 3-drop here. If we didn't want to get Maralen out. There's our Corrupt. Yeah, so we're doing quite well here. This actually, so there's 3 on our opening hand. Nixilis Swamp, Elixir. Yeah, so... Oh, there's our Soul Ring as well. Wow. So is that turn 2 Maralen? Yes, it is. And then we... It's a shame we've got nothing to do with the excess mana. Okay, that's nice. So we've got 3 lands here, although only one of them at this point generates black mana. And you need at least 2 to cast Maralen, so... I do wonder whether you would want to add anything like any cards that give you a quick burst of black mana to try and get this. Only you can imagine if you were lucky enough to get like a swamp and then a turn 1. What's it? I have to look at this deck to remind me now. Terrible Dark Ritual. Yeah, terrible remembering card names. Yeah, turn 1 Dark Ritual. That'd be pretty unpleasant, actually. I wonder if you would just want to run a Dark Ritual just in case that happens. Okay, well that's a really interesting deck. Whether or not I'd ever play is another matter, but yeah. I imagine with a little more thought, you could go all in with Extort and see where that took you. But certainly, yeah, it puts a bit of a target on your head anyway. So, how many pieces of protection are we running here? Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves, and of course we've got Demon's Horn in there. What was the other one? There was something else I ran in here. that mask. That's odd. Where does that go? That's strange. There's stuff in here I just don't remember adding. Or maybe I just did it so fast. Distractable. That is mighty peculiar. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I definitely don't remember adding the Vampire Nighthawk. Weird. You can't see it, but this is the... Oops. This is the deck list that I extracted. Which is quite different. That is mighty peculiar. So I'm not even sure what the hell went on there. Oh, I know. I know. I know. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, I opened the wrong deck. That was something else I wanted to show you, because when I prepped this deck up, while I was in there, I'd forgotten actually, I did another few. I just got actually one too many cards here. It's probably accidentally added another thing in here at some point. Anyway, yeah, the what I had done, thinking about it, is let me just show you. I did pull in, sorry, the average deck on EDH for the life gain thing, because that way, I'd forgotten I did this actually. I was just curious about what the EDH rec might bring up instead. And you can see here that it, in some respects, there are similar things being chosen, but as we saw there, the artifacts are quite different. But a lot of this, yeah, similar sort of creatures with a few differences here and there. Instance, yeah, similar sort of stuff. Oh, that's right. And then a whole load of sorceries. But, you know, not a dissimilar theme. Yeah, there's Sorin Markov. Okay, that's good to see. So now, yeah, now that's explained a lot. But yeah, the deck did change a little bit. But the good thing is, I do have my my list of decks, and what I'll do is I'll include that in the description. The final deck that I came up with. So you know, the this one here, with with the card taken out that must have snuck in, probably one of my original ones that I took out at some point is still in here. So probably that, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so there we have it. That was the Maralen of the Mornsong life gain, life depletion deck. And also we took a look at what an ad nauseum version might look at like, and what a relentless rats possibly could look at. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.